Just tell her.
Okay, your face is now recorded on the video.
Right, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Alright, what's paradigm quickly?
Paradigm, what exists, what's morally right and wrong, and how we get our knowledge.
Alright, what's modernism?
Modernism is ideas of reality, knowledge, and morality above the 1600s.
What were the three things you said?
Ideas of reality, knowledge, and morality.
Okay. Memorize it, bro. Like, you don't have to look at your notes. It's
I
okay.
knew the 1600s.
You just need to know the 1600s part. Alright, what's pluralism?
I wrote religious pluralism with no definition.
Pluralism, find that. Oh, all religions lead to God and heaven.
Alright, give them both candy, bro. Give me a bag of candy. Alright. Every time you answer from your memory, I'll give you candy. This time I'm being generous.
Okay.
But next time you have to answer from your memory. Islamic studies is all memorization, just remember this. Okay? You already know this, man. Yeah, memorize them and then burn them, man. Alright. What's pluralism? All religions lead to truth. And then I talked about some things, like why is that wrong? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, because any religion can, because all the religions, I mean, most of them contradict each other. Like Islam saying, don't, like, the rest of those are kafir, they're gonna go to hell if you don't believe in Islam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Christianity, the same thing.
Yeah, but with some other idea
Yeah.
that if you don't believe Jesus died on the cross, then you're going to hell.
Yeah.
You know, Jews will say if you're not born into this tribe, then
Yeah.
nobody cares about you. God doesn't care about you. So everyone has a different idea of what is salvation. How do you figure out what's right and wrong? Everything, like the very base of the religion is contradicting one another, and that's why you can't say all religions are true. So what we Muslims are claiming, that all of them are false except this one religion, right, Islam. And then we have our evidences for why Islam is true. Do you remember some of those evidences?
Yeah, literally everything that exists. But other than that, the sun rising and setting.
But what does that have to do with Islam, though? So Islam specifically being true, how do you know that?
Well, because in Islam, we don't like harm each other and society.
They can do the same thing.
Yeah, anyone can say that.
Wait, Pharaoh can never go on, so he can never get buried. That's a good one. He cannot get buried. You know that, right? If you try to dig him, put him in the ground, his body's up.
No,
Bro, how's that evidence that Islam is true? That's all I asked you, man.
Okay.
What is Pharaoh having married?
Because this is it. Like,
Pharaoh was married, wasn't he?
no, not married. He cannot be buried.
Buried. Oh, okay.
He cannot be thrown in the ocean. The ocean will throw him back.
Oh, okay. I mean, did you try that yourself?
I hope
Did
not.
you know someone who tried it? I don't know. But anyways, what are some evidences? Some non-Muslim comes to you. What are some evidences Islam is true, bro? Should be really quick, man.
Quran?
Sure. What about the Quran?
Well, that's the word of God.
Okay,
I
that's
have
what
a-
you're saying. The Christians are saying Bible is God, word of God.
Quran has not been changed since it was revealed.
Okay, but then how does that make it true, right? The Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, is also preserved.
Oh yeah,
Right.
because the science from the Quran, like it tells us how much bones we have in our body. It kept on getting proved time and time again.
That's not in the Quran. That's not in the Quran. That's a hadith. That's a hadith. Good. I'm not joking, man. It's not good. All right, Abu Dujana, do you know? What are some evidences? Come on. It's this easy, man.
You're a Muslim boy, you have to be able to answer this.
I mean, proof that Islam. I mean, I can say why Christianity is wrong. I can prove the other religions are wrong.
Okay, that's great. But now why is Islam true?
Man, you're making me question myself.
That's the exact opposite point of Islam.
It talks about like the stages of human life, right? That's one of the.
So maybe some miracles in the
Miracles,
Quran.
yeah, the miracles,
Okay.
yeah.
Like for example, it talks about how the baby is born, and it talks about some realities. Let's say that the people at that time didn't know. It talks about some of the future events, so predictions.
Yeah, like
right.
one of the, I think it's either in the hadith or in the Quran that in the future, in the corrupt times, there's gonna be something in the hip, something's gonna speak from the hip, and it's gonna let you know what's happening at your home. Like the phone and stuff, you keep it in your hip, your phone, you keep it right over here.
So predictions,
Yeah.
So there's predictions in the Quran and the Sunnah as well. And then also just some basic things like it's very simple. It's something that appeals to the fitrah. If somebody is like, you talk to somebody in the middle of nowhere who doesn't know anything about any religion, what religion will make sense to them? Because it is very likely they believe in Allah, because this is part of the human nature to believe in Allah. Then it's so much simple to say that, oh, Allah exists, your purpose in life is to worship Him alone, versus saying, oh, there's this man, his name was Jesus, and he came and he died for your sins, and he was put on the cross.
Yeah, and what's the point of...
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it makes the most sense in terms of human nature. And other than that, there's linguistic miracles of Arabic, there's miracles in terms of predictions, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the future. He predicts wars that will happen and who will win the wars, like Ghulibat al-Rum in Surah al-Rum. So there's a lot of these sorts of evidences. And also, one of the main things that I think is a very important thing is the laws of Islam that tells you how to govern society. No other religion has these sorts of intricate and very, very detailed laws how to govern society from top to bottom, right? The governments, the people, when you go buy and sell, what you do, etc., everything. There's a law in Islam for that, and you will not find this sort of detail in any other religion, and that's what leads to a proper harmonious society, right? If you have that Islamic society. So these are all evidences that Islam is true. Okay. Now somebody could say like, oh, all the religious people are all fighting each other, and everyone's saying that my religion is true, and you all just keep on bickering. You're just backward people. You know what? I'll tell you what. All religions are false. No religions are true, right? This God stuff, it's all like just fairy tales. Somebody made it up,
It is.
Wow, man, it's so gullible. All right, so basically, who am I talking about? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Huh?
Who am I talking about? Atheists, maybe agnostics.
Naturalists.
Maybe atheists, yeah. So I'll write atheism here. Is it showing up on the camera?
Yeah. It's very light.
Uh,
If you zoom in, I think it's gonna be okay. It looks okay-ish.
I'll try writing it down.
Try using something black.
Yeah.
We're very inclusive.
So atheism is the belief
Yeah, and now it's better.
that there basically are no gods, right? So
They're technically naturalists, and naturalists believe that everything they see physically,
Yeah.
is what they believe in.
yeah, that's I mean, most atheists are naturalists, and but not all naturalists
Yeah,
are necessarily
yeah.
atheists. So that's a different thing. I'm just talking about the atheism. So belief that there are no gods. Okay. True. And all religions are false. Okay, so that's basically atheism, and then what atheists will have is a whole different set of arguments, right? So, for example, they'll be like, look, how do you know there's like thousands of gods or whatever, and everybody's denying each other's gods. So they'll say, look, everyone's an atheist in some sense. It's just I go denying one God further, right? So it's like you're denying 9,999 gods or whatever, and I'm just denying one more God. See, we're all the same, but I'm smarter than you because I denied that one more God. You see? Do you see the problem? Do you see the argument? Do you understand the argument? I'll write the argument down. So that's all I want to talk about today. It's just like some of the arguments they make and how you can respond to them.
Okay, oh, yeah.
Are you gonna write that down?
If you were saying everything out of the memory, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm good. I'm gonna write everything out.
Do that. Write down what I'm writing. So I'll write here argument. All right. So, for example, they will say, look, Christians believe that Jesus is God, right? And you deny that Jesus is God, right? And then let's say Hindus, they believe Ram or Krishna or whatever is God, and you believe that that they're not God. So again, look how many gods you're denying, right? I'll just deny Allah is God too, right? I'll deny that as well. So then there you go. See, I'm just as smart.
Then you're a loser. There's only one right God, true God.
Yeah. Hey, let him understand the argument first, man. And then we can get the response. That's not a very good response.
Fight me.
No, you.
Fight me IRL.
Fight me. All right. So you understand the argument, right?
Yeah.
So do you know how would you respond to it if somebody gives this argument?
Okay, the basic thing you say is everything a coincidence? Because
Right.
there takes way too much coincidence, there's too much accidents for everything over here to be real.
Yeah.
So there must be a purpose behind everything.
Right. So
The
that's
universe
about
is not just made.
Yeah. That's just about the existence
Yeah,
of God,
yeah,
right?
that's all just.
But
yeah.
but how about this argument specifically though?
I'd say, have you seen your brain? No, not as an insult. They'd say no, they haven't seen their brain,
Okay.
right? Then your brain does not exist.
Right. So this is basically seeing is believing. So you're addressing that argument. I'm talking about this argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you believe there is one brain. I just go a step further and say you have no brain.
I'm just subtracting one more. No. But there are tons.
So you see, you can take this thing and apply it to anything, and it's really dumb, right? So you can say that, oh look, let's say we're all vegans. How? Because we don't eat most meat products. Vegans just go one meat product beyond, right? So they don't eat meat, right? For example, so that way we're all vegans, right? There's like millions of meat products out there. You haven't tried them all, right? So you can make this argument. You could say, there's like many spins you can put on this, right? And it's just dumb, right? Because you could say, hey, look, we're all feminists. We all believe in women's rights, but feminists just go a few women's rights more, right? So again, you can make anyone anything if you just go with this argumentation. It's really dumb. It doesn't make sense. It's just like what does it matter, right?
Exactly.
What does it matter?
Exactly.
That doesn't show anything, right? That doesn't prove anything. Like, oh, you're denying one more God. That doesn't make you right. You're still wrong, right? So that's the response. You got the response? Write down the response. Unless you want me to write it down for you.
Everyone believes we came from something. I just deny one more and say we come from nothing.
Huh?
You can look at the video afterwards. Like here.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the video, but I recommend writing it down and memorizing it.
Yeah, because you won't have the same barakah when you're watching on YouTube and lose your attention.
Yeah, man. The barakah of the masjid is not on YouTube.
Like when you go home, you'll lose your focus. I'll guarantee you that.
Okay. So another thing they'll say is, another argument is, if God exists, why do bad things happen? So they'll say basically, look, in Africa there's these like little babies and children, and they don't have any food, and then they die. There's these random animals somewhere, like little innocent baby animals, and then some human being goes, destroys the whole forest and does whatever, right? And then the animals die. There's other oppression that happens, genocides happen, right? Some Hitler comes and kills a whole bunch of people or whatever, right? So all these bad things happen. Why doesn't God stop them? Isn't your God supposed to be a good God? So if this God exists, why are all these bad things happening? Huh? You have a response for that?
I was gonna blame it on Satan, but I'd like to hear your response.
No, I mean, you guys try it,
so-
and I'll give you a response.
If God exists, why do bad things happen? Because it's a test. In tests, there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be sacrifices.
Yeah,
So-
that's not a bad point. So basically, we Muslims, we believe that life is a test. So that means not all the parts of life are going to be easy, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So I said that I would tell them that if if what you're saying, like, bad things shouldn't happen, then why doesn't only good things happen? Why doesn't every wish of ours come true? Why don't, like, if I wish for a
No,
huge
but that's what
mansion,
they're
why doesn't it
asking.
come true?
That's what they're asking.
Yeah, that's what they're
Why-
asking. So they're like,
If
why
God
isn't that
exists,
happening?
if
If God exists, God's supposed to be
why
good.
isn't- Yeah, why isn't that happening?
Your God is all merciful. Why are there people dying?
Yeah.
Why are there suffering? Why are there
Can you
tortured?
stand? You can stand with one leg, right? But you cannot stand without using any of your legs. You have to stand on one.
Yeah. So you're saying you have to have both good and bad, basically.
Both good
to
and
have a
bad.
nice balance.
Yin yang, whatever the.
Dude, that's not from our religion. That's from a different religion.
Yeah, should I convert?
Stick to your paradigm.
Because God created man to have the ability to choose between right and wrong and
Yeah.
good and
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
true, but a person of
But-
Warfield, he has no choice, right? He's being bombarded, he did nothing, he was just living his life. He's probably a religious, nice person too. Or not, he's just getting bombed.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, look, what choice is there? Let's say a little baby in Africa, he got sick, really sick, and there was no medical stuff there, and then he died, right? So what was his fault? He didn't do anything wrong.
Should have been a Muslim.
Should- There's no point to this test, right? I mean, I'm just like, what? So he doesn't believe in the afterlife, right? He doesn't believe. So he's just like, this is just a way for religious people to cope with all the bad stuff that's happening. In reality, there is no purpose to this. This is how they will put it. So here's the very easy way to go back to the atheist. Just say, what do you mean by bad thing? What is a bad thing anyway?
A
Right?
bad thing is fire, looting the forest, lightning.
Yeah, but that's whatever, right? But I'm saying from the atheist guy's perspective. So we're talking about atheist arguments, right? So an atheist guy would be like, why do bad things happen? The children dying or whatever.
Yeah.
And just ask, what is a bad thing anyway?
Because your time's up.
like
Stealing,
stealing, homicide.
Yeah. But why? Why are those bad? From an atheist guy's perspective. For us Muslims, it's very easy. The Quran says,
Yeah.
don't steal. So our Quran says, don't cause corruption, right? But from the atheist guy, what is he gonna say when you say what is a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing?
Because their notion of bad and good is always changing, right?
Here's the thing: they have no definition for it, right? This is where they kind of really fall short because they don't believe in Allah, right? They don't believe in Quran, Sunnah. They don't have any
Yeah,
way.
they don't have any. They don't have any destination. They don't have.
They
I
don't
forgot
have
the
any,
word.
not
They don't
only
have any
the-
foundation. They don't
Exactly.
have any foundation, so
They
they
don't have
keep changing
any
depending on their
foundation.
feelings and stuff.
yeah, they don't have any foundation for morality.
Yeah,
right?
it's either their
So-
feelings or they
So remember we
society.
talked about paradigm now. See, this is where it comes back.
Exactly.
Paradigm, and then we say what is right and wrong. Atheists will say something like this is right, this is wrong, but they don't have any basis for it. You understand?
Yeah.
So there's nothing they can go back to. Like we say, let's go back to Quran and Sunnah. What do they go back to? There's nothing for
Yeah,
them.
that's what that's on their point of view. That's the paradigm. Is basically saying what's your paradigm, singular.
Nice
Everyone
job.
has different paradigms.
You know we're live, right?
A little louder, bro.
Don't worry, you're being recorded. It's gonna be on YouTube.
Or they could base it on legal terms, like anything's illegal is bad.
But then atheists, that's only in America, and it's different, right? And
Like,
all
here's
around the
a-
world is different laws.
Like I'll give you two options. Like atheists will give you one or two arguments. They'll either say they follow society, then by that logic, people in Germany were good, like during Hitler's time, because they follow
Exactly.
society.
They were
Like
atheists.
slavery is okay because like they were following what society told them is right about slavery, so they follow. The other one is like following your own desires, and a person who's a psychopath will be like, oh, okay, I feel like killing these guys give me the most happiness, so I'll just go and kill a lot of people.
I wanna set
And there are literally people who did that. I can quote you exact philosophers.
So basically the point is that there is no definition for atheists for what is right and wrong, for morality, right? So the third part of morality, they have no standardized definition. Every different atheist will have a different set of morals. Okay? And any set of morals they're getting, it's like you can question them. Where are you getting from? Like society, from yourself, from your desires, where is it? And all of that stuff can change. All of that stuff is not an objective basis, right? I can write objective morality to make it more clear. So objective means, you guys know what objective means, right?
Yeah.
Objective means something that is certain, that doesn't change. Subjective is just your opinion, right? So if I say this is subjective, that chocolate is the best flavor of ice cream.
Oh,
I say
you
that's
just
subjective.
didn't say that, sir.
Huh?
You just didn't say that.
So I say that's subjective. My opinion, right? Actually, that's not my opinion. My opinion is chocolate mint, but that's my opinion. No
So
one
two
likes that
things,
opinion.
okay.
No one likes that opinion. but the objective fact is that ice cream is a dessert, right? You can't change that. It is a dessert. So that's what objective means. Something that doesn't change. It is reality. They don't have anything like that for morality. So then they cannot question. They can't even ask this question. This is an irrelevant question for them. A Muslim could ask this question if they're confused. They could be like, oh, if Allah exists, then why do bad things happen? Then your answer is perfect. This life is a test. That's why bad things happen. That's it. All right, got it? Simple.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
So how do you answer this question?
Okay, what I wrote for my response is, what's your definition of good and bad? That's what I wrote.
Yeah, for an atheist, you have to question them. How are you going to get good and bad from? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and one other thing is like the evil issue, right? This is called the problem of evil. It's very famous. Atheists always bring it up. Another issue is that it becomes worse if you don't believe in Allah, right? It becomes much worse because then there really is no right and wrong.
Yeah, and you
then,
have anxiety, constant anxiety.
Exactly.
And you try to avoid thinking of what's happening. That's why they're afraid of death.
Yeah.
Because they think that it's all going to end over there.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, there really is no, because then right now we can say, oh look, this child died. His parents were patient. They'll get rewarded for that patience, and the child will go to heaven too. But for an atheist, the child died. The parents, they're depressed. They're stressed out. Yeah. I mean, it sucks for them. I guess that's it. That's all we can say.
They don't believe in hell. They don't believe in hell.
Okay. So monkeys they come to fertilizer they go.
Yeah. Exactly. Never.
What's that?
From they don't believe in hell, so from monkeys they come to fertilizer they go.
Alright, bro. Oh, did Talha show you the memes?
Oh, you know her, man.
Huh? No, he doesn't show you memes?
He's not as cool as me.
Bro, I send you guys. Show them the memes, man.
There are like so many memes we have
We
like.
just put the ones I put in the group, the 4 memes.
Subreddit then.
Okay. Where's the one? Okay, so another argument is.
Shall show them after class.
Yeah, I'm here on the third chapter.
Thanks.
I believe it's chapter.
Chapter. Are you okay?
I've read a whole chapter of the book.
MashaAllah. Are you like Imam yet? Well, you read 10 chapters, that's a lot.
No,
Okay, so another thing they'll say is that look, there we have this thing called science, and science is so great, and it always tells us the truth. It's always correct.
Actually, technically, most of this stuff is just theories and hypotheses. To be honest.
Hey, finish the argument, man. Come on. You're not letting the poor atheist speak.
Sir.
All right. So science says something, right? For example, science might say that we came from apes or whatever, right? We came from ape-like ancestors. But your religion says that we came from this guy called Adam and this woman called Eve, right? Adam and Hawa alayhi salam. And therefore, your religion is wrong because science is so true. Science is true, and your religion is some old thing, some old book saying something else. So obviously, your religion is wrong. Our modern science is saying something else. How are you going to respond now?
Okay, so they're saying science is we come from monkeys and apes, right? Then where did monkeys and apes come from? If your science is so modern, you would know, right?
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh, some evolution happened, and some
evolution.
other animals were there before the monkeys, and before that there was amoeba or whatever. Amoeba just came around randomly. That's what they'll say.
Okay, but they haven't seen it. How would they know?
They're like,
But science said
Science.
it. Science said it.
Yeah, this has sense. Where did the monkeys come from? They're gonna be like, well, the humans released them out of the cage.
Just gotta keep it serious, man. Alright. So how do you respond to that argument? That's what I'm saying.
Nobody knows.
Science?
Well,
Nobody knows?
like you said earlier, where did the monkeys come from? That's one good point.
Okay.
But
That's the Christian's favorite argument. They love this argument. They'll be like, my grandpappy ain't no monkey.
So, what I would say to this is, you don't have like a clear answer. You would say they come from monkeys, and I would say, but where the monkeys come from, and then they would say, like, would they say
This is
amoeba, right?
evolution of some sort. Or you cannot.
But where did that come from?
No. That's evolution of some sort. You can't. I don't think you can really question that. So that's why you got to take a different route. You got to corner them, and baboomba.
Corner them how?
You got to ask something that puts them on thin ice.
Yeah, what is that thing?
What
It's
is
in,
that
it's in that statement, dude.
Science is man-made. It's
What is
there can be
man-made?
mistakes. Like, people can make mistakes. It's man-made.
Okay.
Back in the
Yeah.
point, either Hadith or Quran has said this, but it has predicted science time and time again. Where first, remember back then people believed there was this many bones, but when
That's
Quran and
Hadith.
Hadith said that there was a certain amount.
Yeah,
But
sure,
the question is, that's what the question is, like, where, like, they say that science says that we come from monkeys and apes,
And
and your religion says that we come
Because
from...
people thought the Earth was flat before, right? And now we figured out it's round.
Yeah.
Yeah, but science is evolving.
Yeah.
Your religion is not. It's still
Yeah,
stuck in.
religion is stagnant, stuck in the
Stagnant.
times. That's what I'll say. But anyway, so that's basically the point I'm looking for. The thing is that science is what is science? And just tell me what is science.
Science is like there's theories, hypotheses. It's like oh my God, I
So
don't even
science
know that.
is human understanding of the world around them, right?
Yeah.
So if you say science is always right, basically you're saying humans are perfect, they know everything, they can never be wrong. And this is obviously nonsense,
Yeah.
because we know many times science, as he pointed out, science has been wrong before many
Yeah,
times.
most of the stuff is
Right.
theories and hypotheses.
Right,
That's
so
it.
exactly. So a lot of science, even right now, what's published and whatnot, most of it's not factual. Again, most of it is just, people do the observations, then they have to make assumptions and theories, and then they put that in their journals or their writings. So there's always room for error. In measurements, there's room for error. In theories, there's room for error. In assumptions, there's room for error. So there's always a possibility, exactly. There's always a possibility that science is wrong, right? That possibility is always open. And again, it doesn't take a genius. Like, you know about Newton's law, right?
Yeah.
Like Albert Einstein.
Right, so what did Albert Einstein do to Newton's law? He kind of wrecked it. So what he did to Newton's law is, Newton's law was considered a law. It's like, this is fact, 100%. You push something, that's like the force is mass times acceleration. And there are one or two other laws which I'm forgetting, honestly. What was it? An object in motion does not...
Inertia?
Inertia.
Inertia, acceleration, and opposite reaction.
Yeah, opposite reaction. So all of these, sigma F equals minus F, or something like that.
F equals to ma.
No, I'm talking about the third one. But anyways, it doesn't
the
matter.
third one,
It doesn't matter. The point is,
mb equals to minus mb.
yeah, the point is that those are considered laws. Like, that's fact.
Yeah.
Law that means it's never gonna change. This is reality. This is like I'm saying that the sun exists. That's reality. These laws are also reality. This is what scientists would say. But then Einstein came, and then what did he do?
E equals MC squared.
Yeah. So and then what that does is it's like delta equals delta mc squared, which means that mass of something can change and it can give out energy, and therefore all the Newton's laws, which had an assumption of constant mass, they all get wrecked.
Put it back on the shelf. That's
Yeah.
not right.
So they're still used, but then now people understand it's not fact. It's just an estimation.
Basically, then probably in another 100 years, your evolution might be. I forgot, man.
Yeah, exactly. So your evolutionary
Your
theory
theory
might be
will be,
thrown out.
yeah, thrown out.
It's not even a law. Newton at least had a law. You don't even have a law. You have an
That's
evolutionary
like
theory.
Theory of evolution.
Yeah, so it is much more likely to be thrown out. Even actually nowadays, if you read some journals, if you're bored, read some scientific journals, and you'll see there's constantly scientists debating about evolution and whether we have a right framework, whether it looks good, or whether this is something we need to change. This is something that they're debating right now. So science always changes and is almost never
Correct.
Yeah, basically, 100%. It's never 100% accurate, basically. So, or fact. Right?
But somebody can have a counter argument. Science is at least trying to know the truth. Religion is just blindly following.
That's a different argument. So, okay, you don't confuse the kids.
We don't
Okay.
think about that.
Okay, you want to give them the response then for that, since you opened up the seed of doubt. So
Maybe later. Let the Shubhat grow. and
the Shubhat grow, let their heart become hard. You know? All right, you got this part? Easy?
Yeah.
Yes, easy. All right.
Honestly, at this age, I'm sure they have more Shahawat than Shubhat.
Yeah, man. Enough of your puns, man. Shahwat. Right. So another thing they can appeal to is something like that, basically, what he's saying. So they will say, let's say, science. So this is my argument. I'll just call it A now, because I'm lazy. Okay, science
You want me to use the cat in the dark argument?
is the only way.
Only way we can figure things out.
Yeah, only way to truth or something. So they'll say, okay, fine, science is changing. Okay, fine, that's fine. But guess what? The only way to really get to truth, this is the only real way. Everything else, these are just, beliefs, assumptions, something people made up, whatever, right? But science, that's something, you go in a lab, you do it, you see it, it's real. It's like right in front of you, man. It's not like your Quran that's, from 1400 years ago. We don't even know. I didn't see who got it. I didn't know which person recited it. I don't know anything. So, but I know about science. I went into the lab. I saw it with my eyes. So, science is the only way to truth. That's the only way we can get to truth. All right?
Are you sure?
This is not my argument, man.
We're looking for
I'm
the
not making this
answer.
argument.
Who's arguing with us?
Some atheist jinn, bro. Okay.
Well, you can say
Science
like,
is the only way.
you didn't see your
Okay, so-
grandparents, so they're not real then.
Yeah, that's good.
Any other arguments? Yeah, that's one.
Well, doesn't what do you call it? The Quran, the Hadith, they always have a way. They have a way to track back to
Like sanad,
They're-
like chains, sanad.
Yeah, exactly. They have sanad, they have
but
chains.
you're going too deep. That's so complicated, right? Like you cannot explain sanad to an atheist in like
Yeah.
5 minutes. He's not gonna have any idea what you're talking about, right? So, but there's a much more simpler way to like get this argument over.
My
with.
goals are beyond your understanding. Sounds the other way.
There's a very, very simple way. So science is the only way to truth, right? This is something that will.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. You gave up the argument.
No, I'm waiting for your response. And then I'll counter the argument.
Let me just copy my argument and say, figure it out.
It's not copying. I'm learning something.
Teach people stuff and then use it as your own.
All right. Any ideas? Come on, try
I
something.
mean, okay,
Try it.
I'll just go for it.
Okay, go ahead.
So, when you say science is the only way to truth, when are you gonna get the truth? You keep saying it's always gonna change.
Yeah.
The things, it's never stable. It's never
Yeah.
stable. It's always changing.
Right. So yeah, that's a good point. It's basically like
How do you know there is even a
sci-
truth? And
Yeah,
stuff?
science is always changing. So if science today is not the truth, they'll be like, no, but we're getting there. Like, well, okay, so tomorrow? No, tomorrow's gonna be changing too. How about day after tomorrow? No, it's gonna be changing too. It's gonna be changing forever. So then basically you'll never get to the truth.
You'll
So anyways, but there's an even simpler way. Look, if science, just pay attention to this, right? Science is the only way to truth. Is this statement from science?
Can you scientifically prove this statement?
If is this statement from some scientist or some not scientist, but like from let's say a scientific paper or a journal, is that where it's coming from?
Like, prove this scientifically. This
No.
statement.
So then this statement is saying that this statement is wrong. Do you understand that? It's
Oh,
called.
I get it. How do you know that's the truth?
Exactly.
How do you know the sentence is
Yeah,
true?
exactly.
Yeah, scientifically.
If you're gonna keep guessing.
Yeah.
to
So
the
this
truth.
is called a self-contradictory statement. Like let's say somebody says.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Someone says an example is like, "Don't listen to me."
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
why do you listen to me but you're not listening? You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
listening to me.
Yeah.
Or like, what I'm about to say is a lie. And then you're going to say, previously what I said was true.
Exactly. So
It's a paradox.
Yeah. So So this is what it is. It's called a self-refuting argument. You don't even have to do anything. You just say, okay, you yourself are saying that what you're saying is a lie, right? According to so this statement is a lie according to itself, basically, right? If I again, another statement that is self-contradictory is this statement is a lie, right? This statement is a lie. If I write that,
this statement is a lie.
So that's self-contradictory. So it's the same thing. This is what it's saying. It's saying science is the only way to truth, and this is not scientific, and therefore this is incorrect, and therefore science is not the only way to truth, right? see.
What does that have anything to do with it?
He's an atheist.
Like, is that like an atheist asking you a question, you're like, good question, but you're not wearing a mask, man.
Well, if you're not wearing a mask, how could you do science?
Oh, well, we need
Maybe I don't believe in science. Who knows?
Well, Jay's following one of the
And
steps.
it
You need
says
a lab. You need a lab
you're
coat. You
not
need
in.
yeah.
Don't be jahil. Science is batil.
Okay. Anyways, so it's a self-contradiction. That's basically what it is. Okay. So those are some basic arguments. I gave you like how many arguments? Like 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah, 4 arguments. Okay. So these are some of the basic arguments they use. They'll just like play around with these. They don't have much more to go. One thing that I wanted to give you is. So what are our objections as Muslims with atheism? And we have some objections too, because they attack us all the time. If you go online, right? I don't know how many atheists you've seen online. If you go online, and a lot of Facebook Islamic pages or even on YouTube Islamic pages, they always come and then they attack and they use these arguments very, very commonly. So they attack us. Now I'm asking you, how can we attack back? Because I told you how to defend. Now you need to know how to attack.
Okay, so no, there's this one question you can ask them is. Oh yeah.
What happens like after that? After you die?
Yeah, I mean, but you're not attacking atheism. I'm saying attack atheism, right?
No one knows what happens after you die.
What kind of Muslim are you, man? Have you read the Quran? The Quran tells us what happens after we die. So we go into the barzakh.
We're asked questions.
I don't know the
3
meaning of the words
questions.
in the Quran.
Alright, you should learn. Alright, yes.
You can use. I know there's like obviously there's multiple ways to like attack them. Like no, we're not attacking physically. But you say that even if we were wrong, even if there's nothing after, isn't it true that our lifestyle is the most healthiest? We don't do drugs. We don't intoxicate ourselves. And we're morally correct. The most, even if we're wrong, even if we don't accept this group of people who are hurting society, like, and not, it wouldn't be hurting it right now, but it's gonna.
But they'll just say, wait, you Muslims, aren't you the ones who are terrorists and stuff? So you're the ones that caused 9/11 and all that crazy stuff. So what are you talking about? This is good for society.
We don't consider those guys Muslims.
Yeah, we do. What are you talking about? You can't lie, man.
Alright, but that's a good one. How do I respond?
And that goes on camera.
That's fine.
We're gonna.
I'm not condoning any sort of.
Cut the camera.
In Islam, suicide is haram. That's what it says. So anyone that does that is not true Muslim.
But then we believe.
No,
can-
I
you
mean,
can make
like
the prayer
that's
something like
that's
that.
not. Yeah,
Okay.
we can talk about that later, man. All right. So anyways, so look, there's many ways to go around this, right? One thing is that even if you go just to the history of humanity, look at all of humans in general. Atheists are saying that there's no God and there's no point in believing in God. And agnostics are similar. They'll just be like, we can never really know if there's God or not, so it doesn't matter. So that's what the agnostics would say. So they're very similar, and they'll have similar arguments. So basically, the thing is that majority of humanity, right? Majority of humanity believes that there's a God, there's a creator. And this is part of even children's fitra, children's nature. Right? So what you're doing as an atheist is you're pushing people away from their nature. So even if you don't believe that Allah exists, you're still pulling people out of their nature. And this is again not something that only I'm saying. Many non-Muslims have said. Many even scientists, non-Muslims, they've done experiments on children, and they've come to the conclusion that this is something that's part of human nature, believing in Allah.
Believing in
Allah.
some
Some
supernatural
God,
being.
creator, something, yeah. So, but then atheists will say this is all nonsense. So now you're pushing people away from their nature, and this is bad, right? This is one argument. So, and this is very so the evidence of the existence of Allah is very rational. It's like basically where did everything come from? Of course, and it's very simple. Where did everything come from? Where did all these systems come from? Where all the laws in the universe come from? Etc. Etc. Right? And then it's part of children. It's part of the nature of human beings. It's part of cultures and societies. And you're trying to pull this thing that's universal. You're trying to pull it away. So this is unhealthy. This is one thing. Second thing is that if you disbelieve in Allah, then that brings about, like we said, how do you know what's right and wrong? What is your purpose in life? Right? Why are you here? So this all leads to lack of morality. You lose the third part of the paradigm. That has no meaning anymore. Right? Third part of the paradigm is what? What is right and wrong, right?
Yeah.
You lose that part. That's not there anymore. Then this leads to grief because you have no purpose in life. What am I supposed to do? Anxiety. And ultimately, something called nihilism. Nihilism means that you believe you have no purpose in life. You're here for no reason.
Time is up. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Let me just write down the last response.
All right.
I'm out of here.
Alright, we'll do a quick round. We can all answer quickly.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. First thing is
Dawah. Wait.
right down.
Dawah to the modern era. Maybe Thursday.
Here, I took notes for you guys.
Don't you hate when an atheist troll is smarter than you? Welcome to
Um,
this class. You're gonna be.
Here,
Done recording? Just give us 2 more minutes, man. Come on.
Quickly, he wants to burp.
come on, you're stopping Quran classes.
This class is actually pretty nice. This one, I kind of like this one. We actually got something.
Shadow you. Not kidding, there's a shadow you.
What? Where?
There's Yoshi.
That's not a shadow. It's just a smudge.
I know. Call it a shadow.
Tired?
Does that say fitra in the beginning?
Yeah. You wrote fitra. Oh yeah, fitra.
All right. Alright. So nihilism means is basically somebody who has no purpose. Nihilism is it's like an ideology. Basically, nothing has any purpose. Things are just matter, right? It's just stuff. So it doesn't matter.
Things just
Let's say
happen.
let's say you kill someone. You just rearrange the matter. That's all you did. You didn't really do anything wrong.
Who knows? They're probably they're still alive. They could be still alive. You just don't know that they're alive.
Yeah, let me kill you first.
Yeah, no, I mean basically.
Let's do an experiment.
Basically, yeah, there's no right and wrong, and literally there were people like this in France and other places who literally had this ideology, and they would go around and kill a whole bunch of people. That's what they wanted to do, right? I'm just rearranging some matter, right? Some molecules were here, now they're over here. That's all that happened. I didn't do anything wrong.
To answer your question, officer, no, I didn't test the kid.
In fact, they even wrote that it is wrong to say murdering people is illegal because murdering brings me happiness and like you're preventing my
Yeah, you're
happiness.
preventing my happiness. So that's what atheism can ultimately lead to. And even some of them, like Nietzsche, and he was another atheist guy. He just went like crazy because he like no purpose, no way to make sense of life. Nothing is right and wrong, and then he just started going crazy and basically he died like an
This
insane
is
man.
literally how suicide happens.
Exactly. Yeah. Many people. Why are suicide rates in so many teenagers and stuff high today? This was never the case in history, and the reason is many of this is basically this nihilism.
You'll always see like suicide and depression rates always much higher on atheists than other people.